Hi guys, today I've got the RealAcc Furious 220 to give you a look at. So I received this in the mail the other day. I have done all the boring unboxing where all of these little plastic packets have been emptied. So I don't really like watching those videos, so I don't really want to put you through one either. So I've grabbed everything that comes in the box and I've laid it out on this nice cutting mat. I have noticed, because this is not the first time I've started this video, that it's a little hard to see these carbon components on this black mat. So if you feel the same, let me know down in the comments and I'll see if I can source maybe a green one, or whether I just put a piece of white paper here for future videos or something like that. But for the moment, you just have to bear with me because it's all I've got. So I'll get into it. What you've got here, this actually comes with it. This is pretty cool. This is a just a little cheapy file, but these are quite handy. I tend to hang on to this sort of stuff that comes in boxes because you end up with quite a collection. Like, if you're like me and do quite a lot of stuff with electronics, and you might end up with like these little, if I can reach them, these little screwdrivers that come with all the different sort of phone repair kits you buy and stuff like that. I tend to keep all those things, and you'll use them again later, so I'll probably keep this. And what this has actually come with this frame for is for filing and shaping these arms and components if they don't quite fit. Which I have found to be an issue in previous iterations of various frames, but just looking at this one, everything seems to be pretty well refined and there's no sharp edges and everything's really good. The arms all look really uniform. There's not much difference between them, which obviously is the aim. But yeah, I don't think that file is going to be 100% necessary. I do apologize if I sniff a bit. I have started to develop a cold, which is why I'm inside talking to a camera instead of outside and doing productive things. So I'll get on with what you get in the box. You obviously get 4 arms, which are essential. For a quadcopter you need 4 arms. They're 6mm. I'm not sure how easy that is to see on camera, but they're really thick. They're really thick. I don't think there's going to be an issue with a crash with this. You know, I can't convey how much energy I'm putting into that. I could just go and pretend I'm putting all my pressure on there, but yeah, I think that's going to be quite hard to break. So you got 4 arms. You've got the bottom plate here. This looks like the front. This is the back. The bottom plate, where all of these arms mount, I think they mount on the top on this one, and then they're sandwiched with this plate here, so the arms all fit in there. I'm going to do an assembly off camera, because, you know, it's quite boring watching those videos, and if you're like me, I tend to skip through that and look at the end result, because, you know, we're all fairly clued on enough to be able to look at an assembled frame and know where all of these components have ended up. Basically, these two sandwich the arms. This is the top plate. All the guts of your machine goes in that space. So that's your basic frame. You've got the 4 arms, the bottom plate, sandwich plate, the top plate. You've also got this dooflicky here, which is to hold your battery on. You've got the kind of rubberized mount, which you can put on the top. I like to top mount my batteries just because I don't like the idea of the battery being something that hits the ground first. You've got these 3M sticky foam bits that will stick onto that. So that would sit on top of your battery if it top mounts, or underneath if it bottom mounts. And you've got these holes, these cutouts here where your battery strap would go through to secure it. Speaking of the battery strap, it's not rubberized. So if you are using this one and you're not going to replace it with a rubberized one, definitely use this mat, because you don't want that battery sliding out. And you don't want your battery moving around, because that just throws off your center of gravity. And you've also got these 2 little pieces here, which look like they slot into these holes and will be where your camera would be joined onto. So I'll put all that together and show you after anyway. I don't recall specifying a colour, so I think they must just all come in purple. That's okay, I'm going to be using a pink set of Racer Star 2205s on this anyway. And my last frame has these purple knurled standoffs anyway. And purple motors and purple props and everything purple. As well as that, in the box you do get this Maytech mini power hub, they're calling it. It's a PDB, the BEC built in. I'm not going to be using this, but they're quite handy to hold on to. You never know when you might need it. You get 10 longer bolts, I guess they are. I'm not sure how long is long. These are, looks like about 13 mil long. I'm not sure what that is in inches. 13 mil, half inch, bit over half inch. And these little ones, which are about 6 millimeters, or what's that, a bit under a quarter of an inch? Yeah. Sorry, America, if you're watching this. I use the metric system, so I'm not so good with imperial. So you've got those and 4 little nuts there. And over this side, you've got 4, sorry, my counting's not great today, 4 plastic standoffs and 4 nuts to secure them. So that would be for securing a stack, which, let's be honest, a stack's not really much these days with all these all-in-one boards. It's not like the old days where you had, you know, an ACE32 board with a PDB and then your ESC on top of that, when you thought we were all fancy with 4-in-1 ESCs and that was all the rage. And then you've got your flight controller and your VTX and your OSD and everything's all separate. Now the stack can be just 1 or 2 boards. So that might even be enough. If not, you just need to get yourself a few additional standoffs. You get these 4 foam blocks as well, which have 3M sticky on there, which you can put on the bottom of the frame just to make your landing a bit softer. But yeah, that's basically all that comes in the kit, guys. This is a cool little pointer I've got now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of this together off camera, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like assembled. I'll tell you any issues I ran into if I did have to use this file and get everything nice and smooth. I'll let you know if I've got any issues. Alright, so guys, we've got it all assembled. Sorry about some wood dust here. I had to redo my camera mount. Camera came crashing down during the build. Okay, so what we've got here is the completed frame. You can see I've put the battery strap on the bottom. I don't like doing that, as I mentioned earlier on. Let's get some of these tools out of the way. But I can't actually see a way to mount the battery strap on the top, whereas on the bottom it's got these nice convenient little holes here, and obviously you would mount all of this gear here on the bottom, so the strap would go through there and the battery would sit on that. I haven't done that because I'm not going to put it completely together. I'm going to have to rip this top plate off anyway to put the flight controller in there, in that nice little space there. It's a nice clean build if you're using an all-in-one board. If you are, you know, going the cheap way and going with one of the old SPF 3s or something like that that didn't have everything all built in, then you would have a lot of trouble fitting stuff in there. You can see those standoffs go pretty much halfway. So you're going to get one board and the VTX on there, and that's about it. The power distribution board is, you know, just for context of how that would go in there. I'll sit that in there to get that on. So, you know, you can see it takes up a fair bit of room, just one board. I'm going to have to rip all the top plate off again to put everything in, obviously. I will just tell you, I've put in a Foxeer camera there just so you can see how far that sticks out. Because that's a common question people ask, is where the camera sits. So you can see if you were to have a crash that contacted the front here, the camera just sticks out just a tiny bit more, so you would get a bit of impact on the camera. But you know, the price of cameras these days, if you're going with, if you're not going with the high-end stuff, then you're probably going to be alright. And the arms should protect you from most of them front-on crashes, unless you just whack a branch straight on. You should be alright. This frame's really sturdy. I really like this double bolt design. These outside bolts are the longer ones, so they're like these ones. I think they were 13mm from memory. Are the outside 4. I've put the nuts on the top, but I don't think it really matters. I just did that for the aesthetics of having all of those stubs on the bottom. I think they look really cool like that. And your shorter ones go up through the middle and have standoffs on top of them. So your board it's not structural, really. The nuts hold it. They just stop the arms moving a little bit more. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It's a really light but sturdy frame. I can't wait to actually put this together and actually rip it through. Just for a comparison of size, I'll grab my Martian 2 that I've got here. Look at that. That's a pretty big difference. And look how much stuff I've had to stuff into there. I actually had to extend these standoffs to fit everything in. That's not going to be a problem with this board. With your single board going in there, it's going to be great. I can't wait to rip this one around. So I might post a couple of photos in the comments afterwards with the completed build. But yeah, you guys get the idea. This frame's pretty cool. I think it was like $25 or something. I'll post the link below so you can purchase it from Banggood. But yeah, that's about all I can say about it. If you've got any comments about the way that I've looked through this, something you would like to see in future videos that would help you choosing a frame, let me know in the comments. Yeah, apart from that, that's all I can say about it, guys. Didn't need this. I'll keep it for future builds. Alright, bye.